Well, hello, Mike here from Just Car People Things, sharing with you our newest project car to tinker with. We have, in the last 4 or 5 months, sold our 2006 NC Miata, had our eye out for something to pick up and maybe tinker with a little bit and almost have as like a flip car. So we'll put some miles on it, we'll drive it, we'll have some fun with it. We'll fix up a lot of the little stuff that it needs that I can mostly do myself, and you could too on a similar car. And then turn around, sell it, maybe make a few dollars, and call it even. So this is a 2008 Toyota Matrix, kind of similar to a car I had in the past, which was a 2006 Honda Fit. Again, a smaller vehicle. Found this one on Facebook Marketplace, which seems to be the place that everyone gets a vehicle these days. And really nice car. I have about $4,000 into it. To buy it. Kind of got a little bit lucky. The guy got a bunch of messages. He actually saw that I had an S2000 and said, hey, that's a really nice S2000. And he ended up talking to me about selling me the car, literally because I have a cool S2000, which is just a good luck thing on my end. So what to tell you about the Toyota Matrix? These were built at a plant in conjunction with Pontiac. So if you have a Pontiac Vibe, that's actually the same car. Underneath, they're mostly Toyota Corolla. So a lot of the running gear, a lot of the parts, a lot of the stuff that you've got all over the vehicle is heavily interchangeable with the Toyota Corolla. It makes them extremely reliable, extremely long-lived, and very easy to work on. There's actually a ton of room under the hood, I'll show you in a second, to tinker with them. And just a very practical car. Kind of one of the cool features of them at the time was the front seat actually has a hard back on it and can actually even fold flat. So you have the ability to fit 8-foot-long lumber, stuff like that inside the vehicle. Very practical. They clock in at about 2,700 pounds. And of course, this car is a 5-speed manual, which means it's more fun to drive. That's just science. So they get about 33 miles a gallon on the highway. Makes them very efficient compared to my Toyota Tundra, which is sitting outside right now, that gets about 14 miles a gallon with a tailwind and the big tires on it. So what to tell you about them? They came as a base model, very lightly optioned. This is a mid-trim model called an XR, and the XR came in both front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. This one's front-wheel drive, and it has steel wheels. If you jump up to the XRS, or in the Vibe's case, the Vibe GT, that came with the the same size motor, but the more advanced motor, the 1.8-liter 2ZZ, that is also a cousin to the motor in the Lotus Elise. This is the less aggressive version. I think these are single cam versus double cam, and they have a very different red line and different kind of head setup. So long story short, this is a more of the commuter car version. This car's got about 80,000 miles on it, so I did really well with it, finding something that only had about 80K. It sat a lot of its life. In fact, after kind of going through it a little bit, I've realized that based on records I have pages of dealer records, which is crazy. Someone paid to dealer maintain this car nose to tail for years, but at the same time, I think it was somebody's city car, so it definitely sat outside for a period of time. I do think it maybe had like a tree branch fall on it. It's got some dents in it in the hood on both sides and in the front. I'm actually going to see about getting this hood PDR'd and the tops of these fenders PDR'd. I think if some of the ripples and all that came out of this for a few $100, this panel would look really, really nice, really dress the car up. I have also noticed, and this is a highlight to the fact the vehicle sat a little bit, you can see, if you go digging under here, you can see like the moss and the lichen stuff that forms and fills up. The seals went in the taillights at some point. There's actually standing water in these taillights, which is not the end of the world. Believe it or not, a full replacement taillight for one of these costs about $50. So I'm going to try to clean them up, take them apart and clean them up. If that doesn't work, for $100, I'll get 2 brand new ones. This one you can see is also shot with all the condensation in it as well. There's a bunch of standing water down floating in there. But that said, they're very practical little cars. The hatch glass actually opens independently from a switch inside the vehicle. And you've got a lot of room in the back. Further evidence of a vehicle that sat outside a fair amount. You can see the kind of gunk that builds up in some of these areas around the hinges. And really, it's just dirt. It turns into dirt over time. So a guy had bought this used, and he was going to buy it for his son. He got a really good deal on it. It turns out his son is like 14 or 15. It was going to be his first car, and his son didn't want to drive stick. So he just said, you know what, I'm just going to flip it and put it back up for sale. And I bought it from him here in the last day or two. But handy little car inside. It's got track for mounting stuff. Easy to drive, very comfortable. We'll do a lot of work to it to sort of bring it back up to snuff. We can probably do some work to polish out some of these panels, eliminate some of this scratching you'll see, and really kind of dress it up and make it look like a nice little clean car. Interior looks good, no big rips or tears, but you can definitely see there's, you know, kind of some stuff in the seats. Definitely see, you know, it's got these weather floor mats, but it really needs a good vacuum, maybe an extraction underneath it, and we can do all that stuff. I'm going to pop the hood. I'll show you another thing, a car that sits a lot. A lot of times what you'll see too is you see a lot of gunk build up around the gas tank as well. So I think looking at the dealer records for it, it actually has only had about a couple thousand miles in the last 2 or 3 years. And I think it was maybe an older person's car and something happened to him, or maybe it's someone who got transferred out of town and they left the car sitting. The previous owner that I just bought it from put brand new Yoko Avid all seasons on it. I think that's because the old tires were starting to go just from having sat. Same thing with the battery. It's got a brand new battery in it because if a car sits long enough, it will eventually kill the battery. Under the hood, not a lot of surprises. It's a 16 valve, variable valve timing, small displacement 4-cylinder. One thing I've got to tinker with is the AC clutch doesn't seem to be engaging. The AC kicks on, but maybe the refrigerant's low. A lot of times when you have a car that sits for several years at a time, it's not uncommon to see the AC system need a recharge. Things do escape very slowly from a lot of older systems. And if it sits for 2, 3, 4 years and it's not getting driven, it's only got a few thousand miles on it, it's just not getting cycled enough to be able to effectively circulate everything. And sometimes I think they just get low. It's kind of par for the course in an older car. I did notice it doesn't have a battery tie down. That's a red flag for all of you out there. You can buy battery tie downs for less than like $10 on Amazon. I've got one of those in the mail. And we're just going to do a bunch of different little kind of odds and ends stuff to this. But I was absolutely shocked to find out on a 15-year-old Toyota with around 80,000 miles on it that it had 3 pages of meticulous dealer service records. The power steering fluid has been flushed. The brake fluid has been flushed. Transmission fluid has been changed multiple times. I mean, they did everything that the dealer service advisor told them to do. That's really uncommon to find in a car, and I think it's really cool. One other thing, all of the VIN tags are matching. A lot of the older Toyotas have a little tag on every panel, and you'll see the last 4 digits of the VIN number. You can actually go around the vehicle, and as you work your way around, and let's say you open a door over here, you'll notice there's another one of those VIN tags right there. And that's a really important thing to look for when you're looking at one of these used in general, looking at used Toyota or even Hondas of the same time period. If you see VIN tags that match over the whole car, it means it hasn't been in a serious accident. And while this thing does have a little bit of body damage, I got to get a couple new clips, for example. You can see this clip is broken that holds this little side skirt on. It's got some little kind of ticky-tack stuff. I got to kind of reset the bumper and make sure that squares all up. I think maybe they backed into something or clipped something a long time ago. But that said, everything in this car has been gone through on more than one occasion by the dealer and really made sure that it's a nice little running car. And I have to say, it's a blast to drive. It is a great little car to drive. It's very light, very easy to whip around. But wanted to just shoot this first initial vehicle, let you guys see my new winter project. Something to tinker with here. Very low cost car. I think all in, I'm probably going to be about $4,300 into the purchase price of it between tax, title, license, and buying the vehicle. And to buy a Toyota with 80,000 miles on it with a full stack of service records for about $4,000, geez, even if it's got a few cosmetic things or even if it needs a little underhood work with the air conditioning, that's a really solid deal. It's very, very difficult to find a decent running car for less than $5,000 these days, let alone less than $10,000 or $15,000. And we'll walk you through the process here as we go to clean it all up, make it look a little nicer, really make it a great daily driver car, and show you how you can, with a little bit of elbow grease and not a ton of investment, really still drive a decent car for less than $5,000. Is it possible? And I'm going to detail all that as we go through. But the first thing we're going to do here in a few minutes is we're going to wash it. And you can see I tacked this seal down. Here's some of that grime that was baked onto the vehicle from sitting. And this stuff just accumulates. So it sits outside, dust, tree sap, debris, all that stuff rains down from the heavens. And what ends up happening is it starts getting into all those seals and all those pores in the vehicle. So we'll go through and we'll really clean this thing out. We'll probably get a good polish on it. Maybe be able to take some of these kind of minor scratches in the doors and all that. But with that said, please feel free to like and subscribe. It helps our channel. It helps what we do here. Helps deliver cool stuff we do with our kind of cool cars and occasionally little Honda motorcycles. And happy to have you guys sort of join along for the journey as I fix this thing up and make it into a little bit more presentable of a car. With that, cheers guys, happy motoring.